if your tiki drink isn't tasting good, kick out all the people that you don't want sitting next to you. And I can guarantee you it'll immediately improve. But anyway, these are my friends Ashley and Bob. We're up in Everett, which is about 45 minutes north of Seattle without any traffic. And today we're going to talk about a topic that I've been thinking about for a very, very long time. And we were out drinking the one day, and we started talking about it. I'm like, we should do an episode about this. And the episode topic is, does environment affect the drink?
Yes.
And at first blush, I thought like, oh, well, that's going to be an easy one. I'm analytic. I'll be like, well, no, absolutely not. But then the more I thought about it, the more we talked about it, it's like, that might not necessarily be true. And it's funny, right before we started filming, Bob and I were talking about this. What was this a thought experiment thing?
Yeah, it's something right up on a board, a question. You can look it up. It's online kind of thing. It's, someone writes the question,
which one is red?
Yeah, which one is red?
And then
and then there's like A, B, C, D, and you got blue, green, orange, red, and red is written in green.
Yeah, and the one I saw,
yeah.
So the red is written in green, but then the word green is written in red.
Correct.
And then you're like, I couldn't answer it.
Yep.
I couldn't answer it.
It all comes down to the situation.
It all comes down to psychology. And, well, how should we begin this? We'll start off by saying our original opinions and thoughts. So I feel that the environment doesn't affect the drink. I think that, like, whatever environment, it's like, because there's places that I've been to. I've been to places that are like, really great cocktail, great tiki bars, but then the drinks still suck, and I wasn't able to, like, they didn't pull the wool over my eyes. But what do you think, Ashley?
I think it absolutely does impact. That I think it can't save everything.
Yeah.
You still can have a really bad cocktail or really bad. But I think in general that the location absolutely influences the beverage.
And Bob, what do you think?
I think it both the location, the ambiance, the music, and the cocktails have to come together to make a really good experience.
Mm-hmm.
I think one's enjoyment of the cocktail has to start with good ingredients. The environment won't fix a bad drink.
Yeah.
But it can enhance it tremendously.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was it. Thank you very much.
The end. Kind of what originally sparked this topic for me is I was talking to a friend of mine, and she goes to Hawaii a lot, and when I've been with her, we used to enjoy having drinks at the Sheraton in Maui.
Yeah.
And one time she asked the bartender for the recipe of the Mai Tai or the Lava Flow, whatever the drink was. And the bartender was like, I can give it to you, but it's not going to taste the same when you're at home as it is here. And it kind of like, I kind of initially had your reaction like, it's the same ingredients.
All right.
You can argue, like water for pizza dough or whatever, but you're looking at the same things. But the more I thought about it, the more it's like, that's absolutely right. Here, you're sitting here, you've got the ocean view.
Yeah.
You've got, low stress, beautiful music, sunsets, whatever. That's not going to be the same as mixing it and having it at your dining room table.
So did your friend actually make that Mai Tai, that same recipe at home?
I don't know if she ever did or not, but
interesting.
Yeah.
Certainly the pineapple doesn't taste as good as it does in the
Well, that's true too. But
not that it should be in a Mai Tai.
I was going to say
that's a whole different discussion.
That's a whole different conversation.
Well, why? The obvious answer is like what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
But what is it about the environment that makes you think that a drink would, taste better, hypothetically?
I think part of it is the mindset. I think part of it
Yeah.
is the environment, like just the mental surroundings. And I mean, even having a drink here in this bar
Yeah.
is different. Like one day I was at the end of my work day.
Yeah.
He brought a drink in and he's like, "Here, have this." And I was like, "I don't want to drink it in here." I'm like,
You were
"Let's
in your
go
office,
in."
just to clarify.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't in here. You were.
I was in there.
Yeah.
I was in another room in this house. And it was just
No,
like,
you're sitting on the bathroom. It's like, I don't want to drink this here.
And that's actually a classic point.
that's a different story entirely.
Well, I will
too.
agree with you then. I mean, drinking in a tiki drink in the bathroom is going to be much better than drinking in a tiki. All right, going to extremes there.
This was my office, and I was like, I don't want to have this here. It's not the same. Like here, I've got my stuff, and it's work, and it's not.
Never the twain shall mix.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it is. So it's the
Don't drink at work, kids.
So it's the mindset. You're saying. You're saying it's the mindset that you have to be in.
I think so. I think that's part of it.
What do you think, Bob?
I think that factors into it. I'd factor in, we have 5, 6 senses, whatnot, and whether you're sitting on a beach and you're getting the smell of the ocean or whatnot, or you're in a bar and you're sitting at a bar that the wood's soaked out with rum or whatever else it might be, and whether it's a funky rum or whatever it might happen there, wise. Having all of that infused with the drink, and of course what you see and what you hear, the conversations, the music, etc. I think all that leads to a psychologically potentially better cocktail and better experience drinking that cocktail.
So here's an interesting thing that happened to me. This is a long time ago when I was a kid, where I used to share drinks, like soda or like whatever. So it's back in the 70s, back when you had the metal lunchbox.
Oh yeah,
lunchbox.
pop off the top.
And then you had the thermos. But
That matched the lunchbox.
yeah, but you're 7 years old, so it's not coffee that's in it. So it's usually going to be like Kool-Aid or lemonade or iced tea, but the iced tea where it's like you use the granules to,
Oh yeah, the instant granules.
or something to that effect. But one time I was thirsty. I was really thirsty or something like that, and I asked a friend of mine, "Ooh, can I have a drink of your thermos?" And he's like, "Yeah, you wouldn't do that since COVID now, but that's another story."
Yep.
So I remember I get it, and I remember I took a drink, and it messed with my mind for the first couple seconds because I didn't know what it was. Because, it's in a thermos.
Yep.
I couldn't see it. And it was like, and I'm like, oh, what is this? Oh, it's 7-Up. Oh, okay, all right. So,
Yep.
I think you might both be right, because it is a senses kind of thing. Like, I guess I'll say you're going to make a 44 Mai Tai. The mint. The whole idea is that you smack the mint to open up the aroma of the mint, and then when you bring it up to your face, the mint is right there. So you're going to smell that mint as you're drinking. I've heard that like there's people, like, if they lose their sense of taste. No, if they lose their sense of smell, then they don't really eat as much, or they stop eating because food isn't enjoyable. Because the smell is so tied to the eating that it's like you're almost like eating nothing because you have that smell. That would be an interesting thing for you to try, or anyone at home. Next time you have something, hold your nose and eat it, and see if it affects it. It's gonna taste differently, or it might not actually taste like anything. So I think you're onto something, Bob, with the senses.
The environment's like a second, third order to that, but it can.
Yeah.
The ocean breeze coming off makes a difference with everything you're inhaling as one.
Well, you're talking about Hawaii. I mean, would you say Hawaii has a smell to it, like a floral fauna kind of smell going on?
Yep.
Fresh air,
Fresh air.
ocean.
So needless to say, is it a cocktail?
Plumeria.
A cocktail would taste better on Hawaii than it would be in Center City, Philadelphia, is what you're saying. Do you think it's more about mindset or your senses being invaded by different things?
I think it's both. I mean, I can't help but think that mindset, like where you're at and
Yeah.
what's going on and what the environmental factors are, more so than just sensory.
Yeah.
But I mean, once again, looking at things like stress levels or, company or situation. Are you sitting on a beach enjoying a Mai Tai on vacation, or are you, in Center City drinking a after work beer?
Yeah.
And,
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been at a tiki bar where the decor is great? Like they got it all going on, except for the drinks. And that affected. And there's a place that I'm thinking of that was close to where you guys used to live.
oh,
Well, I can think of one too that you're always wondering if your car's going to get broken into, but that's that's a whole other matter. That was actually.
I'm talking about the Tonga room.
You're talking about the Tonga room.
I'm
Right?
talking about
Yep.
the Tonga room because it's
Yep.
like that place looks amazing, but the drinks your mileage may vary. And as much as like you may go in there and be like, this place is cool, I've had some drinks there. I'm like, this
Yeah, it's a
Actually-
stopping point on the way somewhere else. Just to clarify, we're talking about the Tonga room here
in San Francisco. Yeah,
Okay.
which slightly off topic, but yet somehow related.
yeah,
Going back to the environment factor, one time I was at a conference at the Fairmont where the Tonga room is, and I was super excited because I was like, oh, we can just walk down and don't have to worry about anything. And there were several conference attendees at said establishment, and I was like, oh, I don't want to be around these people when it's my time.
Kind of
So
ruined it
it
for
ruined
us.
it for me.
This drink tastes horrible. Why? Because you guys need to leave. Why? Because I want my drink to taste better.
And
Company
I
first.
didn't go that far, but it.
But you
kinda-
wanted them to leave.
I wanted them to leave. It was like, I had this place first. Go to some other trendy bar.
I never thought Ashley would be so stuck up.
Oh my!
Just like you said, mindset. Like if a place puts you in, if you're in a bad mood, or if a place puts you in a bad mood for whatever reason,
Yeah.
it's gonna.
Actually, I got one better than that.
Yeah.
There's a place I think all three of us love, the Tiki. One time we showed up there at the wrong time, not at opening, but we showed up
Yeah.
there at around 11 o'clock
Friday
midnight.
night at like
Yeah.
midnight.
And it was definitely a change in the crowd to the Sunset crowd. And we had one drink and we left. And the drinks, they're always good, but they did not taste as good to me that night. Just
Yeah.
because you're standing shoulder to shoulder and like, all right, let me just finish this and get the heck out of here.
Yeah.
And that in itself,
And the next time we went back, they were way better because we sat at the bar.
It's funny
and
how
it
that
was-
works,
It
yeah.
was amazing.
These are the best drinks in the world. Now that I think about this, I've been in my fair share of relationships, and there's been times where I've was fighting with my girlfriend, or we were just at odds that particular day,
Yep.
and we go out to eat, and I remember I'd eat the food, and I just remember
Everything's fine.
everything was like mentally it was just bland. It's like I'm eating, but it's like, I'm feeding myself, but this isn't enjoyable. Talking about couples fighting. Have you ever showed up at someone's house and the two people just got done fighting, and you can walk in and you could kind of be like,
There's still a tension in this
everything's okay here? No one's saying anything, but you can feel the tension.
Yep.
Yep.
So there's a truth to that, right?
There it
Yep.
is. There it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, okay.
So I'm completely changing my opinion on this, because I would be the reason why I bring up the tiki tea for me is like one of my favorite tiki drinks is the raised mistake, and it's in the tiki tea, but that's not the tiki bar itself is nothing to brag about, but maybe it's just all the other aspects of it that just amp it up. I think another thing too when it comes to the tea, and just like this, is it's not an easy bar to get into. It's like that whole thing of like if you're not a half hour early or a half hour late.
Yep.
Kind of thing. So I've always had this. Every time I've ever gone to the tea, whenever you get in and you're sitting there and you got a seat and you're like, you just have this feeling of like, yes, I made it. I'm in it.
Yep.
And just having that feeling kind of...
It's stressful getting there sometimes. You're like, am I going to make it in? Am I going to get a good seat? How many people are ahead of me? What's going to happen here?
And I would say one other thing, the interaction, particularly with the bartender, matters a lot too. Running through a rum list down at Rumba, I really want to show up there pretty much right when they open so I can make sure we get a seat at the bar. Because I want to be able to talk to the bartender and I want that interaction.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of back history that you won't get if you're sitting on a table.
Well, even...
And you won't have the introspection into how that particular rum or whatnot tastes without that knowledgeable experience running through it.
I want to end this conversation with I'm wearing the shirt. It's a place called Southpaw Barbershop, and a guy named Zach. It's a barbershop in Milwaukee, but he made it like a tiki barbershop. And then I actually made it to Milwaukee, and I actually had him on my show. And he's like, "Hey, do you want to trim? Do you want your head shaved or whatever?" I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be awesome." And I've had my fair share of haircuts back in the day when I had hair, and but it all went to like a whole different level, because like as he's doing all this stuff, you're in this like he has it all bambooed out and like thatched and the matting and stuff like that, and I'm like laying there and he kind of has me like laid out, and like you can smell the scents of like the shaving cream, or like the towel when he put it over my face smelled like a certain way, and I'm like laying there and I'm listening to Martin Denny right now. I'm listening to Quiet Village, and it relaxed me. It completely relaxed me. And what I realized is like if I was just going to get a haircut, like supercuts or something like that. Yeah. Even if they, excluding, say, like the towel or whatever, I don't think to call that an experience would be nothing. But this was an experience. And it all came down to the environment, the sound, the smells. Mindset, absolutely. You're completely right. So...
She appreciates that.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to do the episode, because you're like, I know I'm going to be right. I completely changed my viewpoint. Who would have thought that Tiki would be psychology? That should be my next series. Like
I was gonna say
Tiki psychology.
I think there's something there. I think
there it is.
It's a 4-credit course. You can take now.
So hold on. So needless to say, Ashley, it's like say if you're like we're all hanging out at a bar drinking, and all of a sudden Ashley's like, "No, I don't think this drink tastes very good."
Get out!
Which one of you guys is...
Should I leave? Do you want me to go? I really, really don't like this drink. Okay, all right. Want to support the Tiki with Ray show and look cool doing it at the same time? Then head over to tikiwithray.com and buy yourself a Tiki with Ray shirt. They're only $20. Tony Canepa did the design, and they're screen printed in America.
Earlier this year, we were in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And there was a bar, and we had to swim to it. And it was the best painkiller I've ever had in my life.
St. John's, and pretty much the guy's like, we got 20 minutes. It's going to take you 10 minutes to swim into the shore and 10 minutes at least to swim back. So if you're going to go
you have to literally swim.
Yeah. I can't pull into the beach, so you jump and you swim. If I'd been smart, I would have grabbed a set of swim fins, but yeah.
But anyway, I think it was amazing, but I think there was something about that. It wasn't just, here. It was like, I earned that drink.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, you probably dodge sharks and God knows what else in the ocean.
Absolutely.
Are you a good swimmer?
She made it. Just
I
fine.
did it.
Now, our good friend literally came back with like a gift for his wife on one hand and a drink in the other, swam with his feet the entire way. But
What?
Yeah, he's crazy.
Well, I could see like my reaction to be like, we're on the boat and they're like, all right, we're at the next bar, but the only thing is you got to swim in the shore for 10 minutes. I'd be like, well, it looks like I'm not going to that bar. Because I think I forgot how to swim.
Really?
I don't think I can do it anymore. I don't know.
It's like riding a bike.
I guarantee by the time you made it into the water and across, whatever it was, alcoholic,
Muscle
non-alcoholic
memory.
water, it would taste amazing.
So what you're saying is adrenaline makes it taste.
Maybe that's it.